Hello and welcome to Top Stories today. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwoola, yesterday Monday said public opinions and sentiments could not displace the law of the country, urging judges to be impartial in discharging their duties. The temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has entered its fifth day after a 48-hour extension was agreed. In sports, Super Falcons duo Ashat Oshola and Chiamaka Nnadozie have been named in the final shortlist for the CAF Player of the Year award in the women's category. It's a lovely Tuesday. A warm welcome to you here on News Hour with me, Chioma Vic Chukwemeka. Now we begin. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwoola, yesterday Monday said public opinions and sentiments could not displace the law of the country, urging judges to be impartial in discharging their duties. His position was backed by the Nigerian Bar Association as it condemned the attacks on the judiciary in recent times. Ariwoola, who spoke at the special court session to mark a new legal year and swearing in of new senior advocates of Nigeria in Abuja yesterday, also said most cases should end at a court of appeal. He insisted that the appellate court was competent and well-equipped to adjudicate effectively on most matters. He urged Nigerians not to take every dispute to court, stressing that not all appeals should be brought to the apex court for adjudication. The Commissioner for Transportation in Lagos, Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, also along with Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Wale Musa, yesterday Monday observed the destruction of 1,500 seized motorcycles on the Lagos State Task Force premises in Oshodi. The Lagos State government posted the images of the exercise on its X account on Monday. The Director of Public Affairs for the Lagos State Task Force, Badeyan Abdurrahim, had reiterated in October that Okada had been banned in the state, but that enforcement had been difficult because of Lagos' closeness to Ogun State. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, on Monday said President Bola Tinubu will determine the next step for the Nigerian Air project. The chances of Nigeria's national carrier, Nigeria Air, beginning operations still hangs in the balance, especially as new details about the contract resurfaced on Monday. 6 months after an elaborate ceremony on May 26, 2023 to celebrate the arrival of its first aircraft, a Boeing 737-800, an airliner has remained dormant ever since. Founded in 2018, Nigeria Air's ownership stakes is divided among Ethiopian Airlines 49%, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority 46%, and the federal government 5%. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday nullified the election of the Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, Yusuf Liman, and ordered a rerun in 5 polling units. Liman was elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress to represent Makera constituency in the State Assembly. But his election was challenged by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Solomon Katuka, who contended that the process was fraught with illegalities. The Kano State Election Petitions Tribunal had on September 30 upheld Katuka's petition and nullified Liman's election. In health, the World Health Organization on Monday raised the alarm over the increasing rate of tuberculosis infection in Borno. The organization's head of mission/country representative, Dr. Walter Mulombo, expressed the concern during the Northeast Nigeria 13th WHO and TAM Joint Operation Review in Yola. The review is for Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe states affected by Boko Haram insurgency. The WHO country representative, however, expressed its readiness to work with Borno government to address the problem. In Anambra State, the state government says it will invest in constructing a home for the elderly and the old. Governor Chukwuma Soludo stated this when he spent a day with elderly, vulnerable, and people living with disabilities at Emir's House, Oka. The event, which drew a large crowd of old people and the disabled from all parts of the state, was also used to celebrate the born engineer Arthur Eze, who clocked 75 years of age. According to Governor Soludo, the state government already acquired 5 hectares of land for the Old People's Home project to help take care of the vulnerable who do not have people to take care of them, and mooted the idea of naming of the buildings in the proposed complex after Engineer Eze. The governor emphasized that the present administration is passionate about the welfare of the elderly, poor and vulnerable people, which is why government policies are targeted at them in terms of provision of free basic education, free antenatal and delivery services, among others in the state. Still in Anambra State, the State Commissioner for Works, Engineer Ifeanyi Ukoma, has inspected the 3 ongoing road projects in Nnewi North. He was accompanied by the Transition Committee Chairman of Nnewi North Local Government Area, Engineer Chris Obiora, and other stakeholders from the area. Starting from Bank Road, which was commenced a few weeks ago, the entourage also inspected the Opuneze Junction to Nnewi Hotel and that of Isaho to Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital permanent site. Speaking shortly after the inspection, Engineer Okoma expressed displeasure with the level of work done by the contractor handling the Bank Road project and assured strict monitoring of the project to ensure quality and timely delivery. On the Opuneze and Isaho Road project, Engineer Okoma said that the roads will be completed early next year and charged the contractors to speed up work on the roads. He said the unscheduled inspection was to ensure that work is being done according to specifications and maintained that Governor Soludo is very intentional about ending the road crisis in the state. The Anambra State Women and Social Welfare Ministry, headed by Honorable Ifeanyi Binabo, has trained more than 70 selected women for microfinance seed grants in Awka. The training was done in collaboration with the Anambra Women United Incorporated, Chicago, USA, as a means of empowering and contributing to the well-being of humanity by focusing on disadvantaged women and children in the society. Speaking during the event, the Honorable Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Honorable Obinabo, charged the beneficiaries to make good use of the grant and save properly in order to be able to return it as at when due. The Anambra State Women and Social Welfare Commissioner cautions the women to stay away from joining associations that do not have their best interest at heart, as such is one of the fastest ways of being unproductive with the funds which will be given to them. While training the selected beneficiaries, the facilitator, Mr. Chika Ezenduka, noted that the thought was formed out of a great need and burning desire to contribute to humanity and urged the beneficiaries to make good use of the money, as the donors will be investing again if they use the funds judiciously. The beneficiaries were selected from all the 21 local government areas of the state. We take a break right now. When we return, we move over to University of Ilorin, where it says the male members of staff will now enjoy paternity leave. Interesting. These and more stories will come your way after this time out. Kindly stay with us. Welcome back. Glad to have you back on News Hour. In a very interesting story, the University of Ilorin has said its male members of staff will now enjoy paternity leave. This was made known by the university's registrar, Mr. Manso Alfanla, on Monday while addressing newsmen. He noted that the development followed the just amended conditions of service of the varsity as part of ways to improve the varsity's working conditions. According to him, the leave lasts for 14 working days for male officers whose partner delivers a baby. Moving things along, the House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee on Monday kicked off a full-scale probe into the alleged mismanagement of COVID-19 intervention funds by ministries, departments and agencies of the government. Addressing the opening session, the chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, warned MDAs that the committee would not listen to pleas for an extension of time. Some of the MDAs that appeared before the committee on Monday included Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Federal Ministry of Water Resources, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, among others. We are following up on the story and we'll keep updating you. Moving to stories from across the world, the temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has entered its 5th day after a 48-hour extension was agreed. 3 Palestinians will be released from Israeli prisons in exchange for each Israeli hostage returned from Gaza. Hamas says it is not holding all the captives in the Gaza Strip, which could complicate efforts to free the most vulnerable. The United Nations has used the pause in fighting to get aid into Gaza, but says much more is needed. Hamas attacks on 7th of October this year, 2023, killed 1,200 people, with about 240 taken hostage. Since then, Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 14,500 people have been killed in Israel's retaliatory campaign. Toxic pollutants released during gas flaring are endangering millions more people than previously feared, according to investigation. Flaring, the burning of waste gas during oil drilling, is taking place across the Gulf, including by COP28 host, the United Arab Emirates, UAE. New research suggests pollution is spreading hundreds of miles, worsening air quality across the entire region. It comes as the UAE hosts the UN's COP28 climate summit on Thursday. The UAE banned routine flaring 20 years ago, but satellite images show it is continuing despite the potential health consequences for its inhabitants and those in neighboring countries. Australia will ban imports of disposable vapes from January in an effort to curb nicotine addiction in children. New laws to stop single-use vapes from being made, advertised and supplied in the country will also be introduced. It comes amid a broader push to phase out recreational vaping completely. Vaping has been marketed as a way to quit smoking. But Australia's health minister says it has created a new generation of nicotine dependency. Vapes or e-cigarettes are lithium battery-powered devices that have cartridges filled with liquids containing nicotine, artificial flavoring, and a range of other chemicals. Key leaders in Niger Republic have overturned an 8-year-old law criminalizing migrant smuggling in the country. The legislation allowed authorities to take action against smugglers who transported migrants through Niger's Republic's vast desert onto Libya and Europe. But President Mohamed Bazoum, who had worked with the EU to stem the tide of people across the Mediterranean, was overthrown in July in a coup d'etat. General Abdurrahman Chiani has since declared himself the new head of state. His ruling junta announced the repeal in a statement saying the law did not take into account the interests of Niger Republic and its citizens. The first transatlantic flight powered only by alternative fuels will take off from the UK this Tuesday. Operated by Virgin Atlantic, it will fly from London's Heathrow to New York JFK Airport at 11:30 GMT. Airlines see the flight, which is supported by government funding, as demonstrating that a greener way of flying is possible. But the lack of fuel for supply remains a challenge, while other technology will be needed to hit emissions target. Sustainable aviation fuels, SAF, can be made from a variety of sources, including crops, household waste, and cooking oils. More than 136,000 people, including an estimated 74,000 children, are trapped in the historic northern Mali city of Timbuktu. The NGO Save the Children has said. The NGO on Monday also warned that the trapped are running out of essential items like food and medicine as armed groups block their entry into the city. The NGO also said that it has received reports of children being maimed or killed by explosive devices, while others are recruited by armed groups. Timbuktu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, has been under siege by Al-Qaeda-linked jihadists since August. The jihadists have banned trucks from neighboring regions against entering Timbuktu, causing shortages and skyrocketing prices of food, fuel, and other necessities. Jihadist attacks on the city have also forced more than 33,000 people to flee, according to the United Nations. We take another break right now. When we return, we move into the interesting and exceptional world of sports. Stay with us. Glad to have you back. Now to the interesting world of sports. Unconfirmed reports say that Nigeria Football Federation is considering the future of Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro, with the coach likely to be disengaged soon as the search for his replacement has commenced. It was learned that the technical committee of the Federation was not pleased with the performance of the Eagles under the Portuguese and was desperate to hire a local coach. Since taking charge of Super Eagles in 2022, Peseiro has won 6 and lost 6 of his 15 matches in the dugout, with the 3-time African champion scoring 31 times with 10, coming in one game against Sao Tome and Principe and conceded 21 goals. Selling sports in a significant development for African sport, Valentine Ozibo, chairman of Fit and Treats, has been appointed as the first ever non-executive director and leader for Africa on the board of the World Freestyle Football Association. The landmark appointment was announced by Steve Elias, co-founder and president of WFFA, and Daniel Wood, co-founder and secretary general of WFFA, during the World Freestyle Football Championship held on Saturday, November 25 at Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi in Kenya. Falcons duo Asisat Oshoala and Chiamaka Nnadozie have been named in the final shortlist for the CAF Player of the Year award in the women's category. Oshoala, the first African woman footballer to win the UEFA Champions League, aims to win her sixth award, while Nnadozie hopes to make the podium for the very first time. The duo have been outstanding for both club and country in the year under review, but the festive competition from Moroccan trio Anissa Lamari, Fatima Tagnaut and Glazien Chebak. Still in sports, in the world of boxing, Nigerian boxer Elizabeth Oshoba is delighted to have won the International Boxing Female Super Featherweight title after she defeated Italian Martina Rehi on Saturday in her debut title fight. During her sixth professional bout, the 2022 Commonwealth Games silver medalist exhibited sheer determination, clinching a resounding unanimous decision victory over Rehi at the Mecca Regents Circus in Swindon, Wiltshire, United Kingdom. The 23-year-old Nigerian has further solidified her unbeaten streak, tallying an impressive record of 6 wins, including 3 knockout victories. Nigeria's sole representative in the CAF Confederation Cup, Rivers United, are aiming to go beyond the quarter-final stage of the competition this season after starting their campaign with a comprehensive 3-0 win over Angola's APC Lobito in Uyo on Sunday. Samuel Antwi, Paul Ode and Shedrack Asebu were on target for Stanley Eguma's side as they moved to the top of their group with a comfortable win. The Port Harcourt side were eliminated in the quarterfinals last season by Tanzanian club Young Africans, who eventually finished as runners-up. The 2022 Nigerian Premier Football League champions are competing for a second consecutive season as the only side from Nigeria. Amusa Kelani beat off competition from 53 golfers to emerge the new champion of Ikeja Golf Club at the grand finale of the 2023 edition of the championship, which held at the weekend. Specifically on Sunday, the finale wrapped up the week-long championship, which commenced on Monday, November 20, with staff and caddies. Subsequent days featured veteran golfers. Tuesday, November 21, a competitive challenge by female golfers. Wednesday, November 22, a special kitty and auction night on Thursday, and the men competition for golfers with handicap 19 and above on Friday, and golfers with handicap 18 and below on Saturday. With that very interesting story from golfing, we'll wrap it up on today's news hour. Let's check the headlines once more. We told you that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Lukayode Ariwoola, on Monday said public opinions and sentiments could not displace the law of the country, urging judges to be impartial in discharging their duties. The temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has entered its 5th day after a 48-hour extension was agreed. Super Falcons duo Asisat Oshoala and Chiamaka Nnadozie have been named in the final shortlist for the CAF Player of the Year award in the women's category. That's it on News Hour today. On behalf of the entire editorial production crew, I am Chioma Vic Chukwemeka. Stay here on TV Sapiens because we have lots of programs to make sure that you enjoy the rest of our transmission. Most importantly, be security conscious, be on the alert. Whatever it is you do, make sure it is productive. Stay with us.